Simon Garner here for a second out with Sam Jones drinking his drip water. Sam, good to see you. How you doing?
I don't drink any water then. I'll drink it straight out the tap. I'm so thirsty. I'm all right, mate. How are you? Been a while, hasn't it, since we've caught up?
I feel like I have to chase you down. You're a wanted man, but you don't want the limelight, it seems.
Do you know what it is, right? People have this perception that I run around like going, oh, will you interview me? Will you interview me? But like it is, like I thought to myself the other day, it wasn't just a personal thing. Like I thought to myself, I'm going to have a bit of time off having interviews. But your new man was following me around till 2:00 in the morning in the hotel the other day. And I thought, give him, man. I was so tired. I gave it was a bit of a lackluster interview that was, to be fair. But I was a bit tired. But I thought, he's young and I thought, Joe, what? He's earned that, he has, so...
Isn't that part of the skill set, just timing, being in the right place, right time, maybe being a little bit persistent too?
Maybe. I think that's what it is. But listen, you all work hard. Everyone deserves time, don't they? So, yeah, try my best.
Yeah, very well said. There isn't all the hours in the day sometimes, Sam, but look, you're looking to speak about your fighters, and Adam Acker is out this Friday. What does Adam have to do to keep his name in people's mouths at the end of the fight night?
Joe, I just said to him there, I think Adam should be on the higher up on the card, right? Especially on these next gen shows. I think Adam is exciting. I think he should be on the main card. But look, I've told him, go in there, let your hands do the talking. Perform. And it's a bit like what happened to Hamza Uddin, right? Hamza Uddin, it's a bit further on than Adam, obviously, but he was like second on the card in Birmingham a few months back, and his performance was great, and he was on the main card fighting for a title, and he was outstanding last week. And going forward, you can't not put him on the main card. So it's performance-based. So if it's performance-based, Adam's got to show in there that he can box and he can break people down properly. He's not just a brawler. He's not just a go in there and takes people out. But one thing about Adam, you're going to get in his career, is pure excitement. So watch out for Adam Acker on Before the Bell.
Is it a case of you battling behind the scenes to get your fighters higher up the cards? What do you have to do? What conversations do you have to get that happen?
You have to pick and choose your wars, don't you? Like this time I thought, do you know what? It is what it is. Adam will let his performance do the talking.
A number of fights to discuss. First of all, Cameron Vong takes on Gavin Gwynn, the rematch that people wanted to see. You put out on social media, like, no one's doing it like Cameron Vong is. Why did you feel you needed to make that statement?
To be honest with you, and this is me being truthful, I put Cameron in a position where he didn't really need to be in so early on in his career. I mean, listen, he fought Jeff Ofori, he didn't get any credit for that. No one fights Jeff Ofori, really, because he's a nightmare. Look, his record is so deceiving because he won a lot of them fights that you see that he lost. He got robbed in a lot of them fights. Cameron boxed him. Yeah, Cameron won clearly against him, but struggled in the last couple of rounds, just due to managing the rounds. Then he's taking on Gavin Gwynn, a former British, Commonwealth and European champion, and we thought was catching Gavin Gwynn at the right time, good matchmaking, but it turned out to be a really hard night for Cameron, even though I believe he won. And I think that people, just because the odds were so against Gavin Gwynn and it was close, people think, oh, it was a robbery. If you watch the fight back, Cameron caught all them shots on his gloves and Cameron landed the better shots. But I understand, scoring's subjective, right? A lot of people thought Gavin Gwynn won. People thought Cameron won. The three scoring judges thought Cameron won unanimously, right? But that's why we're here again, to make sure there's no doubt this time. And Cameron's had a couple of fights. He's one fight under Ben Davison. And he's back in the deep end, Cameron. This is his 10th fight. Look at Cameron's resume at 22 years old. It's a baby. Tell me another prospect that's 22 years old with the CV that Cameron Vong's on in this country. There isn't really.
Has enough time passed, has enough experience been gained to cement a victory in your eyes the second time round?
He won the first time on a bad night. So on a great night, he's had time to develop under Ben Davison. He's getting used to his new coach, his new surroundings. I think you're going to see a clinical performance from Cameron Vong on that night.
Will he get the credit due if he gets the victory over Gavin?
It's up to you lot. It's up to Matchroom, because I think Matchroom, I mean, Eddie's been not harsh with him, but like even Eddie, not really. Eddie wants to get these prospects like to title level quickly, and when they do make the step, you've got to give them the respect, and I don't feel Cameron Vong has had that respect yet. But on the 29th of November, he's coming for his respect.
Jack Catchall has now made his move to Boise Ennis. When it came to the discussion surrounding moving trainers, how much of a process was it to get the right fit for him?
Jack's 32 years old, right? So he will make his own decisions. Obviously, it was a very sensitive one because of the closeness of the relationship with Nigel and Jamie, and it was obviously a very emotional situation, but Jack's chosen to put himself in an uncomfortable position in Philadelphia, and that's what he's done. I think it's a bold, courageous move, especially at 32 years old, but Jack's got no miles on the clock. Jack's ready for another great chapter in his career out in Philadelphia with Bozy Ennis.
About Echo Esserman in terms of being in the opposite corner, he seems a top operator, tough to beat. Someone like Echo keeps coming.
Echo, I've seen him talking with his, I don't know the guy's name, his friend or his manager. I'm not too sure what his name is. And they were talking about his head's going to be bounced off the canvas. So I was like, oof, that's big chat from them. And we'll see. I think Jack Catterall's going to look fantastic on the night. I think Echo's a great fighter. I've always thought he's a great fighter. He's a really good person as well. I like him a lot. I just think Jack Catterall is an all-round better fighter, and he will prove that on November the 15th.
So we haven't discussed since your link-up with Daniel Dubois. What brought you into the camp? How did that deal get broken between you and the Dubois camp?
I was actually in hospital with my son. He was having his appendix out, bless him, at 4 years old. And I got a text from his dad saying if I was free for a call. I had a call, asked if I was interested in coming on board. And I said yes, because I believe Daniel Dubois is a special fighter, which he is. He's a former heavyweight champion of the world. He's 28 years old. I've always been fond of Daniel and his ability. Obviously, I came up and it was Joe Joyce against Daniel. I was in the opposite corner, so it's a bit of a story. But yeah, that's how it happened, and I think I can add a bit to Daniel, and I'm great. I'm really grateful Stan reached out to me.
One of your skill sets is obviously being in front of the microphone, being able to speak and get your bit out for fighters. Yeah, I'm giving you a little bit of credit here. I just wonder, is that part of the thinking? Because the PR battle, when it comes to Dubois, it's always a devastating loss with him, and sometimes you need something else to battle that tide.
I don't know. Listen, I was actually on TalkSport speaking about this earlier, and I was getting a bit of credit saying that you can't just be a mouthpiece in boxing. You've got to be able to sell, broker deals, be active. Like if you ask any promoter, I'm busy, mate. I'm really busy, and that's what I believe is my qualities. I'm persistent. But look, I'd like to think I can speak in front of a camera. So yeah, maybe that is some of the thinking. And if it is, then it's some credit to me, then, isn't it?
Do you think Daniel Dubois gets a rough ride when it comes to defeats?
Yeah, of course he does. Like you look at Daniel Dubois. Everyone dissects Daniel's career, right? Oh, he lost against Usyk. He lost against Joe Joyce when he was a baby. The fight was made too soon. I said that in the build-up of the fight. And he's lost to Usyk twice, the greatest heavyweight of this era, bar none. You've got Alexander Usyk here and all the other heavyweights here. He's the greatest heavyweight of this era. He's pretty much looked unbeatable. Derek Chisora probably gave Usyk the hardest fight of this current crop of heavyweights. The greatest of this era, bar none. Daniel's lost to him twice. No shame in it whatsoever. Former heavyweight champion of the world, and he will regain his belt again next year, 2026. Good up, Daniel.
I've got to pin you on the current state of play when it comes to Daniel. There's rumours abound about a trainer change. He's been pictured at the Sims gym recently with Conor Ben. What is the current state of play when it comes to a trainer with him?
You'll hear an official confirmation in the next week or so.
Has he been training with Tony Sims?
He's been training with. Yeah, he has been training with Tony Sims, but it's up to Daniel to officially confirm who he's training with. It's not up for me or his promoter or anybody else. So it's Daniel's a 28-year-old man. He'll make his decision when he wants to announce his trainer. But yeah, he has been training with Tony Sims. Yes, correct.
So as far as you're aware, in terms of that training, how has he been in terms of gelling with Tony? What's the reports about that?
He's trained with Tony before. Okay. Back in the day, he trained with Tony before, so they know each other very, very well. Daniel's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to be comfortable who he's comfortable with. And look, this is an important moment in Daniel's career. He's coming off his loss to Usyk. He wants to regain the heavyweight championship of the world, and Daniel will make his own decisions.
Have you suggested any other trainers for Daniel? Or has it just been Tony?
Daniel is currently training with Tony Sims, but whether he makes him official or not is up to Daniel.
Fair enough. Let's move on. I want to get you taken on a couple of things. The potential fight for Moses Itauma won't be Pulev because he's in a fight with Garcia, but who do you think Moses Itauma should be matched up with next?
Somebody that can give him a bit of rounds. Like Jermaine Franklin would have been a good fight for him, but I want to see him fight Martin Bakole. If I'm honest with you, I want to see him. I want him to fight. I would like to see him in there against Martin Bakole. I think that's a really good fight, and I think it would capture the imagination if he fights Martin Bakole.
Have you heard anything regarding Joe Joyce and a potential return to the ring? I messaged him. He said it's all quiet on his front at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not involved in managing Joe. I haven't been for years. So, listen. Last time I spoke to Joe, I wished him well for his 40th birthday. Look, it's up to Joe what he does next. If Joe wants to carry on, I've made my feelings clear. But listen, Joe, I'll always be forever grateful to Joe. Love him to bits.
What about Anthony Joshua is searching for an opponent? We don't know if he's going to return to the ring this year or next year, but who would you put him in with if you had the guy?
Probably Matt Mudov. If I was looking after AJ, I would probably do Matt Mudov because he's tailor-made for him. So I would probably do that fight. And then look, the amount of times we're speaking about AJ against Fury, it's almost boring, isn't it? It's tedious and boring. But we've got one more opportunity, I think, to make that fight, and it's this next year, 2026. If it doesn't happen next year, it is never happening ever, and we all need to face facts that we're never seeing that fight.
Final thing, and if you don't want to discuss this, feel free, you don't have to, but it's come out now, it's been revealed the reason as to Ricky's passing, it was by a hanging. We know that Ricky was obviously a troubled soul, and he's took his own life. If you want to comment, if you don't want to comment, I just want your words on Ricky's passing.
Ask me a question. I got told that could have been the case a couple of weeks back, and do you know what it is? It's more heartbreaking because he's 46. He's got grandchildren. He's got kids, 2 daughters. Campbell, his son. A beautiful life. Like on the eye, it's a beautiful life. He's got money and but sometimes money and people are facing battles within that you don't really know about. I know Ricky made no secret of the fact of his difficulties years ago, which is like, I think if it would have happened a few years ago, people would have been probably less shocked if that's but it's because it kind of happened out the blue and Ricky announced the fight. It's so upsetting, and like I say, with that funeral, like you watch of the week, it's like we can all go to the funeral and we can come out of there having great memories of Ricky Hatton in the ring with Costa Zoo and the great nights with Floyd Mayweather, of Ricky Hatton being a legend of boxing, a legend, right? And he was a people's champion, but there's a darker side to that of where his family will leave there and they have to pick up the pieces. It's heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to all of them. The Hatton family, Campbell, his 2 daughters, his mum, his dad, his brother, and it's just such a sad situation. So if it just goes to show, like if you are struggling, you must talk to people. You must talk to people, seek help. And Ricky was a big advocate of that. Talk to people, speak to people. But no, it's horrible, to be honest with you. Horrible that this has happened. But no, it's just my condolences to the family, and it's just a sorry situation.
It's something that boxing can do, obviously not present for Ricky, but in the future when it comes to fighters after the career. Because Ricky, of course, he spoke sometimes open about what he was going through, but this obviously came to a shock to the boxing world. Is there something that boxing and the fraternity can do to make sure people speak a bit more?
I think it's more everybody. It's more what we can do as a country, as the world we can do, because men in particular, this happens far too much. This happens far too much. It's the biggest killer of men. Between a certain age, I don't know the official stats, so I don't want to say it, is suicide. So there has to be a lot more done, suicide prevention. But yeah, it's hard. It's so hard because I just feel like so sorry for it. It's like we can watch videos of Ricky Hatton and, as I say, come out of there thinking, oh, it's a living legend, like what an amazing. But then on the other flip side of it, Campbell and his 2 daughters, they've lost their dad. Brutal, awful.
Sam, also, I hear your thoughts as well too about speaking out. Thanks for speaking to Seconds Out. Appreciate your time.